Hey folks, Gary here. Hey Coley Cole. Happy Monday morning to you. Man, I hope your day is starting off just fantastic. What a great day to be alive. Every day is a good day when you walk with God. It truly is. Now, we had Anita Pierce as our guest speaker this Sunday, and she was awesome. She was phenomenal. What a great gal. I really enjoy it when she comes to minister to us, and we had a full Sunday. It was really good. It was a great time. Now, she spoke on God having a plan. And so I took down a bunch of notes while she was talking, as you should. When someone is giving you a message from the Lord, you really should write things down. And so I wrote down a bunch of notes. And she started off with looking at Genesis and looking at Joseph. And, we could look at Joseph's life and say, what a train wreck. If you don't know the end of it, man, it looks really, really horrible. But it's not, because it was God's plan throughout the entire thing. And we can look at our own lives at times and say, what a train wreck. I can't believe this. But here's the thing. You're in the middle of the ride. You're not at the end yet. So you can't judge the end yet because you're still in the middle. Like, things are happening, and maybe you don't like those things. And like I always say, every day is a great day to be alive. It really is, because we walk with God. Maybe the circumstances don't look that fantastic, but you're in the middle of the ride. You haven't come to the conclusion yet. You don't know what it is that God is doing. And so that's the case with Joseph. He was sold into slavery, and all sorts of horrible things happened to him. But we get to Genesis 45, and he is now second in command of Egypt. He's the number 2 in command of the most powerful nation on the planet at that moment. Going from being a prisoner to this position, like, it's mind blowing. And his brothers finally show up, and we see this Genesis 45 verses. What are we looking at here? Genesis 45. We're going to be looking at verse 3. I am Joseph, he said to his brothers. Is my father still alive? But his brothers were speechless. They were stunned and realized that Joseph was standing there in front of them. So they're thinking, oh no, he's going to get revenge on us. But that's not what he does. Continues on. Please come closer, he said to them. So they came closer, and he said again, I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into slavery in Egypt. But don't be upset, and don't be angry with yourselves for selling me to this place. Now, we would be saying, you should be upset about this. I can't believe what you did to me. He doesn't go there. Instead, he says this, it was God who sent me here ahead of you to preserve your lives. Yeah, you were doing something you shouldn't have done. You were doing evil, but it was God who was actually setting you up to do this, because he had a plan for my life, and this is the way it needed to go. He sent me ahead of you to preserve your lives. This famine that has ravaged the land for 2 years will last for 5 more, and there will be neither plowing nor harvesting. God has sent me ahead of you to keep you and your families alive, to preserve many survivors. Joseph is seeing the bigger picture, and he's saying God had a plan. I was part of that plan. You were part of that plan. So don't get too upset about it. God had a plan, and it's going to work out amazing. Sometimes in our own lives, like I said, we go through hard times. I'm not saying we don't. We certainly do. Our family has, and I know you have, and I know your family has gone through hard times. Because if you're alive, you've gone through hard times. But the main thing I want to say today is the story's not over. The ride's not over. You're just in the middle of the ride. God's working these things out, and he's working these things out for good. That something amazing is going to take place and happen. And if you didn't go through this route, you never probably would have experienced this thing at the end. God is good, and we can trust him. So that's the message for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you tomorrow. And I'll post the Spotify link on this for her message, because it's a really good message to watch or to listen to. Take care. Have a great Monday.